Tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi, ngā mihi. So this is our start of an attempt to create a safe space where people can come and communicate about any subject. The goal at the moment is no censorship. That may change, but at the moment, I just want to make it safe for every person to hold their own belief and their own understanding of life on any subject, and to start to create a space that's safe for them where they can speak to it and we can listen. And we're going to have overlapping ideas and views, etc. And at one moment at a time, we can work together on creating a space that we all want to live in and we want to share together. I'm standing here this afternoon with Chris, and he's a representative of SNAP, and Survivors Network of those abused by priests in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Tēnā koe, bro. It's a real pleasure. We've already made a couple of clips this afternoon, and I'm really impressed, bro, by your courage to actually stand forward and communicate about what you've experienced and what you're doing. Would you like to give us a brief on that?
Kia ora. Thank you very much, Gastra. I think it's very important today to address the issue of abuse in faith-based institutions. The Survivors Network of those abused by priests supports survivors of abuse in churches and faith-based institutions across Aotearoa, New Zealand. We are a support network for survivors. In train today in New Zealand is a Royal Commission of Inquiry into abuse in care, in state care and in faith-based institutions. I would like to encourage all the victims and survivors of abuse in religious institutions across New Zealand to reflect on the truth of there being only dignity in having survived sexual abuse as a child. There is no shame in having survived that. On the contrary, there is dignity and there is courage in coming forward in your own way to talk about the abuse that you suffered. I know for a fact that many of my classmates who went through the Catholic school system in Aotearoa, New Zealand with me have survived horrendous sexual abuse when they were young and innocent boys in the Catholic schools of New Zealand with me. So again, we are SNAP, Aotearoa New Zealand, the Survivors Network of those abused by priests, and we are here to bring awareness to this tragedy that plagues our nation, and a tragedy and a plague that we today need to heal from. Thank you.
Kia ora, Chris. I was just thinking, I really admire your courage for standing up here and sharing with us and making us aware of where you're going and what you're doing at the moment. I also noticed that you've got the webpage address down the bottom there of your banner, www.snapnetwork.org, where people could probably contact you. Would that be right? Yep, and find information and resources to support networks, etc., if they're dealing with extreme challenges or in their lives. So acknowledging your courage, bro, and we made that clip earlier, which I think we deleted because we felt we could do something better, more productive, more economic, so to speak. I really laugh at talking to the productivity and economics of expression these days, whereas for the majority of my life that concept didn't even really exist. Okay, we've gone 4 minutes according to Alex. So very briefly, I'd like to say that if you've been an abuser as well, then I want to say to you that I'm going to do my best to create a space where you can come and stand and acknowledge that if you're at that level in your journey, and you're open to doing that, and I think that could be such a powerful experience for all of us, and for yourself undoubtedly, because I think if that's, like we said in that previous clip, those people, there's a very, very high percentage, we are aware that there's a really high percentage of abuse has already occurred to those people, which has gotten to them to that damaged state whereby they express themselves in that way towards another human being. But that's me for the minute. So, tēnā koutou katoa, tēnā tātou katoa, all of us together, ko tahi tango.